Good morning, my Virgo friends, and welcome to Coffee and Tarot with Mama T. I'm Teresa, and I am here to share a reading with you for August 26th through September 1st. I have already pre-shuffled all of the cards and the tarot and the oracles, and they are sitting here ready and waiting for me to flip them over. I have I did a pendulum word of the day message for you this morning, and the word that you received, Virgo, is alignment. So something to keep in mind. You might already know what this means. You might know the significance of this word already, or the cards may bring this into focus for us. Or as you go through the week, it may come to you why this word is important for you. But the word for you is alignment. We'll use that as a touching off point for our reading. We're going to start today with tarot, and the tarot deck that we are using for you, Virgo, is Forest of Enchantment. And let's see what the cards have to say for the week for you. I'm pulling 7 cards, one for each day of the week. It may not align, the cards may not align with each day of the week. It may tell a cohesive story of the week, or, maybe they will work out to being, this card goes with this day. It may be different for each of you. Okay, so the first card that we have is 3 of Boons, and in this deck that is 3 of Pentacles. And so this card is a card of cooperation. This is a kind of, the vibe of this card is utilizing experts to accomplish a goal. Coming together, working alongside each other, cooperating and learning from each other. So that might be a theme as you're entering your work week. You may notice that you need to utilize the experts around you, or maybe you're the expert and you need to help train somebody else or enlighten them on a process. Could be that way within your family too. Maybe you are babysitting your grandchildren, like this woman seems to be. Well, maybe she's together with her, looks like she's with her spouse and her familiar, but anyway, working together. You could be working together with somebody in your family or at work. The next card that you receive is Ace of Challenges, which is the same thing as Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is a message of truth coming in. This is a delivery of truth, of enlightenment, a flash of inspiration. It's signaling the new journey of an intellectual pursuit. This is a great card. The next card is my favorite card in this deck. It's the Keeper of Boons, which is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is like the granddaddy of the kings. He has all of the secrets of the kingdom, and he's the kind of person you want to embody. He's really got things under control. He's learned a lot of lessons as he's gone through life, and he's willing to share those lessons and the wealth and abundance that has come to him. One of the things about this particular deck, which is really cool, is he has the Hermit is with him. He's in his cave, basically. One of the decks that I really like, the depiction of the King of Pentacles as well, is the Light Seers, and it shows him, just sitting on a chair in his library, so he's in his safe space, and he has his hermit with him, and he is, reflecting, and but he's also welcoming. You can see he's welcoming you to come in and visit and learn from him. He has all of the aces with him. He's got the Ace of Swords. He has the Ace of Fire. He has the Ace of Pentacles in here somewhere. And he's got the Ace of Cups. So this card is like getting 4 aces. And you already have the Ace of Swords, so you're going to have a great week because you've got 5 aces. You know, that's awesome. Okay, so the next card that you have is the 8 of Challenges. This is the 8 of Swords, and this card has been coming up quite a bit lately. And the 8 of Swords, I kind of think of it as like a self-imposed mental prison. You, this woman, you know, you can see her, she's not blindfolded in this particular card, but she's holding her hands over her eyes, which signifies that she can, at any time, remove her hands from her eyes, open her eyes to her situation, and see the truth of it. It's not as bad as it seems, but the Ace of Swords is a normally the person is depicted as, you know, with their hands bound loosely, their blindfold on loosely, and nobody is guarding them and telling them that they have to stay in this prison. It's all within your mind, and you can release yourself at any time. The next card that you receive is the 2 of Challenges, which is the same as the 2 of Swords. This is a situation in which you have to make a choice, and you have 2 pathways in front of you. You've got to make a decision, and often it is depicted with the person with a blindfold over their eyes, and they are able to take that blindfold off at any time and see. It's a resistance to making the decision, but resisting making a decision is a decision in itself. So here he is, looks like he's out hiking. He comes upon a mirror, and he's got a choice of who does he want to be in the future? What path does he want to take? Which way does he want to go? And only he can make the choice. He needs to do it. You've got a lot of Swords energy in your reading. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your cards are Challenges, and you have the 2 really good Pentacles cards, or boons. The next card we have is the 9 of Challenges, and this follows right after the 8 of Challenges. The 9 of Challenges is one of, typically it's a card of anxiety, sleepless nights, and worry. And you can see, if you look closely at this person's face, if I can get it to go without it being reflected, he looks really anxious. And if you look closely at these, he's in a forest, an enchanted forest, and I'm sure that he's seeing things that look pretty scary, which may not be scary, may just be an illusion, a trick of light and shadow. But he's worried about the things surrounding him, and but the thing about the 9 of Swords is that he has tucked himself into a safe space to worry and be anxious, but he knows that he's safe and he will get through it. It's kind of a long night of the soul, and he just needs to get through it. He's nearing the end of his journey, and if he can get through this night, then he will be well on his way. And then the next card we come across is the Seven of Challenges. And the Seven of Challenges is Seven of Swords. And this can often mean like trickery or deceit or deception. That's the way that card is often interpreted. But I see it as a card of resourcefulness and thinking outside the box. How do I get through this situation? These foxes are stealing from this camp, but they're hungry, and the most important thing for them is to get food to take home to their kit. So they need their little foxes to be nourished and fed, and so they're doing what they need to do and utilizing the resources that are at hand. So that's another way of looking at it. Okay, so let's get a kind of a clarifying card from another deck. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, Strength. You get the Strength card. This, since you have so many cards that are challenges or swords, it tells me that you've got a lot going on in your mind. There's a lot in your head, but you have more available to you than you think you do. With those 5 aces that came up in your reading, and this abundance and prosperity and this sense of peace, this is here for you. And in order to get there, you just need to tame your thoughts. This woman she has to put her hand in a lion's mouth every single day and feed it. But that lion that represents her thoughts. She needs to tame her thoughts every single day. You don't tame your thoughts once. They are things that you have to train and train on a daily basis in order to achieve the great things that are waiting for you. Okay, so I like the looks of all of this. And also, remember, you've got people around you to help. You do not have to be alone in your mind. You don't have to be alone in your mind. You've got people around you that you can utilize. Okay, so next up we are going to read from some oracle cards. Your first oracle card that you have is Rest and Relax. This is from the Trish James Personal Predictions Oracle, and I like the looks of this card because it looks like the end of summer with these sunflowers, and she's at the beach. We are in the end of summer. This is your season right now. Rest and relax, celebrate you, and find that peace that you need. Okay, the next deck is from the Connections Oracle. This is from Trish James also. And this deck is designed to help people utilize or get in touch with their mediumship capabilities. We all have a little bit of it in there. There are obviously some people who are much more talented at it or have been gifted with that capability than others, but you can train yourself to see or feel things. So the card that you get may remind you of somebody who has passed, who's been on your mind, and this may come as a message from them. The card you're receiving, that was the card that I used for Leo, so let's use the next card. The next card in the deck is Caution, Playing with Fire, and the medium message is fire related. So this can be a question, a message from somebody on the other side who cares about you, who is worried that you're playing with fire. They're worried about you toying with taking the wrong path, and so they're trying to get a message to you to be careful with what you're doing. This message here could be a message from somebody on the other side giving you the idea that that something that you're wondering about, how somebody may have passed, there was fire related in it, or it can be a message of warning for somebody else in your life that both you and the person who has passed has cared about, that they're worried about fire. So as you're going through the next week, if you're in the path of any wildfires, then heed any warnings to evacuate. If you're on evacuation notices, be sure that you listen to those and listen to the authorities and pay close attention to those warnings, or any other, just be cautious around fire. If you're going camping and you have a campfire set up, just be careful. Be careful with fire this week. All right, and then the next card is from a deck that I would not normally pick up. I don't normally gravitate towards this style of art or, you know, this kind of thing. But I have been thinking lately, with everything happening in the world, that, you know, there's nobody coming to save us. We need to be our own heroes. So I wanted to have an oracle deck that would help me to tap into that kind of hero energy within myself. And the card that you get is Sisyphus. Okay, so Sisyphus was actually not necessarily a hero. He is a mythic figure. He was kind of a jerk. He was very self-centered and tricky, and he escaped hell over and over and over again, and by tricking the different gods of hell that he interacted with. And he always had a really good story to get out of wherever he you know, get out of his situation. He refused accountability. And so the gods, when they finally realized, oh, he is pretty darn tricky, we're going to have to think of something likewise tricky for him, in order for him to have to pay for his, atone for his sins. And so they made a deal with him that his burden would be that he would need to roll this stone up the hill. Well, he's strong, and he's like, okay, no sweat, you know. And they said, yeah, and once you roll this stone up the hill, you are going to be able to, you know, you won't have to go to hell. Well, they have enchanted this stone so that every time he gets near the top, it slips and rolls all the way back down. So he has to do it over and over and over again. So that the message behind this card is basically, when it shows up in your life, let's see, Sisyphus. I wanted to read this part here. Let me just look it up. Okay, burden. Okay, 183. Okay, when this card shows up in your reading, you are being called to become aware of the tendency to control and shoulder everything. You might always be hard on yourself, or always have high expectations toward yourself and others. See, does this sound familiar? Thus, you might be forgetting how to embrace life and its cosmic flow, and may even be stifling both yourself and the ones that you love. Now is the time to discover your vulnerable and empathetic side by learning to tune into your true emotions. Share your feelings with your friends and your loved ones. Allow yourself to receive help, and let others take care of themselves. Relax and paddle lightly, and trust that the cosmic ocean is carrying you on your own journey toward happiness and contentment. All right, so our final card for your reading today is from the Dreamweaver's Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, and that's what it looks like. And your card is A firebird is calling to soar. So you get fire again. So a firebird is calling to soar. Let's see what the book has to say about that. The number is 28. So that adds up to being a 1 card. The key words on this card are being fully yourself, knowing who you are and who you're becoming, authenticity, shining on behalf of the divine. Do you know who you are, what you truly value, and what matters to you, and how you genuinely feel about things? Can you be that person without worrying what others think? You are a unique and special being with your own path, your own journey to travel. You have incarnated with a purpose built into your very being. You don't have to look for it forever. It's inside you and has been all along. This is something to celebrate. Just as a great symphony is made up of many instruments, each one integral to the whole, your special note is essential to the great song of life. You need to play your note and not someone else's. So at this moment, being yourself, speaking up about what's important to you, and making choices from an authentic desire to participate is always what's best for everyone. You have come so far in your life. It's time to be proud of who you are and what you have to offer the world. Like a firebird is called to soar, so you are called to express the fullness of yourself and shine. Remember that your true heart, just remember your true heart. It's okay to be vulnerable. Take off the masks you hide behind. Then and only then can you make an empowered choice to fly. Ready? The dream weavers think you are. Okay. With that, I will wish you well, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you in my next reading. Bye now. Be well.